This video is to give you a quick sense of what the fully complete version of COMM110 looks like. One student in one of the course climate surveys for the class expressed a desire to have it fully completed at the beginning of the semester so they could work ahead, and I think that's a perfectly reasonable request. And so I've gone and made certain that that is available for both online and face-to-face versions of the course. But this one here for you will show you the online version. But most of the same material is here. The only real difference is the actual content that we can find in any given course module, weekly module, may differ based on the instructor and what they choose to provide to supplement. I'll choose 2 weeks real quick. First week 2 to give you a sense of what a standard non-speech week looks like. Each week we're provided with what the topic is, a quick, very brief introduction of what's happening here. Usually if something important is happening, like a last day to drop, that's there. And we'll go into the weekly objectives, the readings, the assignments, and a preview of what's about to happen next week. Now, I'll go over the weekly objectives in evidence item 04 in effective use of class time, so I won't go into that specifically here, but you can take a look at there. The objectives are presented here, and those tie into the course objectives directly, as you can see here. Students are also then proceed to the readings and viewings, and you'll notice again same alignment here. I'm going to try to keep, because workload was a concern for COMM110 in all areas. One of the ways that I try to reduce that workload is to make certain that students have access to the PowerPoints for the books, and the book material ties them to that alignment, but also the supplemental materials here is kept to something specific or some things specific that really help explain what's happening here. So this week, for example, we're focused on audience adaptation, so it's just one short video on audience adaptation. And you'll see that it's a preview of the process speech. We'll actually get to that here in the next week in just 1 second. And you also see the assignments and actions are due here. You'll see that they have an exam. That exam is a standard kind of multiple choice test. It is available fully to them on Canvas. This is for all sections, not just the online ones. Everyone does it on here. And that was one way that we worked to ensure that we freed up some class time to work on projects, and that was because that was another issue that students had expressed concern about. They wanted to spend more time in class working on the speeches, and so we moved the exams to online to help with that. I also see the discussion forum here. You'll see in evidence item 05 under effective use of class time more information on how these discussion forums build upon one another. But this one, for example, we haven't gotten to outlining visual aids in the textbook yet, but it's still something they do need to know in order to best prepare for their speech. And so instead of asking them to read 2 extra chapters in the book, you use the discussion forum as an opportunity to introduce those concepts in some key ways so that they're able to still succeed without having to consume so much so quickly. And as I said before, each week previews the next week's work, so we quickly to go to the process speech week, you can take a look. This look follows the same structure. If we go to the assignments and actions for the week, you can see that this is how they go about submitting those types of things. I'm going to go back to the readings and viewings for a second. You can see that here, one of the concerns was clarity of expectations, to make certain those things are there, and the specifics of the process speech assignment can be found under evidence item 05 under clear presentation of subject matter. But you can see that here's a brief summary of it. If you click here, it'll pull up a Word document that has the full assignment description for them. Goes into a lot more detail that's available for those students. The rubrics are available to them as well. That'll pull right up so they can have access to those and what those look like. And again, I'll go over more of that here under a different evidence item. And the detailed process score sheet, another thing that they have access to that really tells them, okay, this is specifically the things that we're looking for in each one of these steps. So to ensure that they have clear, not only presentation of subject matter, but a clear presentation of expectations. And I'm going to quickly note that I'm going to hop over to a sandbox version of the course that you can see that the grades are already all set up in there too. I'm pulling the sandbox version so that we don't see any actual student grades because we're in the middle of the semester and I didn't want to share any grades with there, but that's what they look like. The grade book is fully complete as well. By the way, a quick note that the same thing is true for COMM180. This is the sandbox version of COMM180 as well. And quickly you can see that it's all complete as well, mainly because we had similar complaints after COMM180. I used these principles to help decrease the perception of workload. I did this for COMM182, and I have seen similar results. The difference between spring and summer, for example, eliminated those concerns of busy work at all.